I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 96 of the regular season, where the Astros win 8-5 in a very strange game that simultaneously was... It didn't feel particularly close, yet it was also nerve-wracking. We'll start with the offense first and then move towards the pitching staff, which the Astros offense today was fantastic. 8 runs. We abused Robbie Ray, which is just kind of common this season, no offense, Mariners fans. But today was really a great display of why the Astros offense is as absolutely fantastic as it is. The top 5 hitters in the batting order had 6 hits. The bottom 4 also had 6. The offense was spread out, everyone was getting in on it, and Chas McCormick with an amazing game, 1 for 2 with a pair of walks. Chas McCormick recently has been making a really solid bid to keep getting solid playing time in the outfield and make it where you're wanting him and Myers to split time and not Myers to be the starter and him as a backup that plays maybe a third of the games. Like, he is a solid starting option. Altuve had a pair of hits. He had a very good game, including a leadoff home run on the first pitch, his 30th of his career. Jose Altuve could very well be the all-time career leader in leadoff home runs for this team, which for a person who is not renowned for hitting home runs is just hilarious. And Jeremy Pena, the better JP, also cashed in with a home run, back-to-back with Jose Altuve in the first inning. The Astros teed off early. And again, showing that the offense is deadly in all facets, Mauricio Dubon with an RBI double to get a run in the second. Martin Maldonado with a single to get a run in the second, and Altuve with another single to make it 3, 4, and 5-0 respectively. The offense top to bottom can be elite. And even Chas McCormick's out for the day was a productive one. It was a ground out that scored a run. The Astros, even when he had the out, he was still scoring runs for the team. Martin Maldonado also in the 8th inning would have a 2 RBI single with the bases loaded. That was quite important, and I'm kind of sad that it was made to be important because we did lead this game 6-0 at one point, but we're going to talk about that in a second. But Maldonado, great game for him. The offense, again, top to bottom is fantastic. Also, the Selly, absolutely fantastic for Martin Maldonado. But I mean, hey, what would you expect? You got to celebrate hard when you're winning the other team's World Series. So now we're going to talk about the weird part of the game, which was Framber Valdez, who I think, in my humble opinion, I thought Framber was good today. And I thought his undoing, which has been the undoing of so many pitchers this season for the Astros, is they're good, you think you can get a 7th inning out of them, sometimes it's an 8th, and then they kind of fall apart, and one bad inning kind of cost them a great line. Framber Valdez, scoreless through 6. He looked great. The 7th comes, and he kind of falls apart. Would end up giving up 3 earned runs. He gave up 8 hits for the day, but I thought he still pitched really well. A lot of great swing and miss stuff. 8 strikeouts to only 1 walk, so he was very much in control. His curveball today specifically was disgusting. I think that had 8 swings and misses alone. So he was pitching well. He just kind of, the wheels fell off in the 7th inning. But I don't know. We were in a position because of how well Verlander did yesterday, and we got Ryan Presley back. We didn't need him to go to the 7th. It would have been nice, but we didn't need it, so I would have preferred if we would have just pulled him after the 6th. We tried to get the 7th. It kind of fell apart, but I still think he had a good game. Seth Meyers would come in and have a mixed bag. He would get out of Framber's inning without allowing another run to score for Framber, which was solid because then he gets another quality start because he just consistently does that. But then his next inning, the 8th, kind of fell apart for him. He would end up giving up a pair of runs, a pair of walks, only 1 strikeout, which is not wonderful, including a home run to Abraham Toro. But the person we got back for Abraham Toro, Weston, it was for Kendall Graveman. No. It was for Rafael Montero, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. He would come in and get out of the inning. And Ryan Presley, 1-2-3, soft contact, nothing but it. And he has now set the franchise record for 30 consecutive batters retired, which, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Presley, after an absolute firebombing at the hands of the Yankees, where people were starting to call for his job, I don't believe has allowed a base runner. Life is a funny, funny little thing, isn't it? Hey, look, it's me editing the video again. Anyway, I got to this point of throwing all the clips together, and I realized I said underdog too many times in one video. So please forgive me, and also know that I did torture myself, and it sounds like nothing, but it probably took me like 15 to 20 minutes to add all of these little things that you're going to see, so I'm sorry in advance. So the series as a whole, the Astros pretty well dominated, I would say, and here's what I really want to talk about, because I don't feel like discuss themes enough with this channel, And the theme going into this was that the Astros, and it was the same theme going into the Yankee doubleheader, that the Astros were going to be tested, that the Astros were on the back foot, that the Astros were the underdogs. People continue to make us the underdog. Fans, and to an extent the media, continue to try to paint the Astros as underdogs, and it's exactly what we want. Every player on this team loves the underdog mentality, and they keep giving it to us when we have no business being the underdogs. We are 3 wins and 3 Yankees losses away from having the American League playoffs run through Houston, and yet for some reason, we continue to get slapped with the underdog tagline. Now, yeah, we were probably the slightly less favored team against the Yankees in the doubleheader, but people were talking about it like it was a foregone conclusion that the Yankees were going to come in and spank us, and they very didn't. This series, Mariners, sure, they had a 14-game winning streak. We still entered this series with a 10-game lead of them over them in our division, and yet we were painted as a team that was going to be on the back foot. Because again, I understand not all Mariners fans, but quite a few of them had this pretty much lit up in the marquee as more or less their World Series, and the Astros came in and dunked on them. We continue to be the underdogs, and it astounds me because 101 wins in 2017, 103 if I'm not mistaken in 2018, and 107 in 2019, yet we still get painted as the underdog. And this season, when we're being painted it maybe more so than ever, and we're on pace to have 108 wins. This is the most wins, I believe, through 96 games in franchise history, or tied for it. We are witnessing potentially the best hitting season by an Astro ever in Yordan Alvarez. The only other debate is maybe Jeff Bagwell, but I think it's really, really close. We're witnessing potentially the best pitching season, at least by surface-level statistics, from Justin Verlander in franchise history, and yet we still get painted as the underdog. I put it in a comment the other day, and I really wanted to reiterate it, because they showed the top 4 starts to home run hitters for Astros in franchise history, and it was Springer, Correa, Yordan, and Pena. And it really hit me like a ton of bricks that we were watching the greatest Astro team, and really just the greatest span of Astros teams that we're probably ever going to watch. And yet, for some reason, people still talk about us like we're going to be fighting for a wild card. Sorry, I know that got to a bit of a tangent there. It had been on my mind this entire series, really since the Yankees doubleheader, and I wanted to get it out there because I just had to get it off my chest. Anyway, we leave the series sweep with now a 13-game lead in the West, and we look to hopefully grow it as we get ready for an A's series against, again, the worst team in the American League. Sorry, A's fans, I'm sorry, it's just a fact. They are going to send, in Game 1 tomorrow night, Adam Aller to the mound. We are going to send Jake Odorizzi. And the West Coast late-night games continue, 9:40 Eastern, 8:40 Central, and I will be here very late afterward to talk about it. But that is all I would say for the evening. So, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.